Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So I asked you on Instagram, if you're not following me then I'll leave the handles down here. I asked you guys what you'd like to see for Halloween, so I gave you two options. One was this Cleopatra look and the other one was not going to tell you, but most of you said to do a Cleopatra look first, so that's why I've created this look. This is my Halloween costume which I wore about 4 years ago, I think, for one of my university parties, a Halloween themed party. But yeah, this brings back good old memories. I've done this cut crease and it's got gold glitter on it with like a blue outline on the eye. So I've used this photo for inspiration, and as you can see she's got some blue eyeliner and a black outline, so that's something that I used for this look. If you'd like to see how I got this look, then please keep on watching. Okay, so for this look I'm going to start with the eyes first and then I'll move on to my face. Just going to start by outlining my brows, and I'm going to quickly speed through this because I have done a brow tutorial for you guys to watch, so I'll leave that listed up here. Now I'm quickly going to set that in place with some brow gel. I'm using the Benefit Gimme Brow in the shade 5. So now moving on to the fun part, I'm going to use Bobbi Brown Colour Corrector, and this is in the shade Deep Peach. And I'm just going to apply that under my eyes and on my eyelid to colour correct some of the darkness I have there. Can you see how much of a difference it's already made? For some concealer, I am using my L'Oreal True Match Perfect Match Concealer, and this is in the shade 3DW. Just going to apply some of that, and this will be a base for my eyeshadows. Just using my ring finger again, I'm just going to lightly dab that over my eyelid. And now to set this in place, I'm going to use my Becca Multitasking Perfecting Powder, and I'm just going to press that onto my eyelid. Okay, so today I'm going to use a mix of two palettes, the Morphe 35K and the Morphe 35R. So I'm going to start by using the 35K palette. Starting with this shade here, I'm going to use that as a transition shade, and I'm using a tapered blending brush. In my last tutorial I did a cut crease. That is basically what I'm doing now. So I'm not going to show you the whole footage of the way I do my cut crease in this one. So if you'd like to see how I normally do my cut crease, then I'll leave a link up here and you can have a look at that. So you want to use circular motions and windscreen wiper motions when you're doing this. And you want the colours to be equally distributed from the outer corner all the way to the inner corner. And don't forget to feather the shade out all the way to near your eyebrows. And now using the same brush, I'm going to use this shade here and apply that into my crease. And then using a clean fluffy brush, I'm just going to blend those edges. So now I'm going to use this shade and the shade below to deepen my crease, and that's basically going to make it slightly warmer. It's going to keep its warm tone but also give it that darker crease. And again, with all of these shades you want to use circular motions and then windscreen wiper motion. And just like last time, I'm going to take some of the shade a little bit lower onto my lid because of the shape of my eye. And now only using the first shade, not the darker one, I'm just going to apply on top of that crease just to create some gradient. And then using that fluffy brush again, which I use to blend all the edges, I'm just going to go over some of this area again. Okay, so again I'm going to use my L'Oreal concealer, and taking some on the back of my hand, I am going to use that to cut my crease. a damp beauty sponge, I'm just going to blend the edges so it doesn't look too harsh. I'm just going to take some setting powder and I'm going to lightly press it onto the area where I've just concealed. You want to be very delicate when you're doing this because you don't want to move any of the concealer that you've just applied. Going on to my 35R palette, I'm going to use this gold shade right there. Can you see how brightly gold it is? So just collecting that onto a shader brush, I'm going to apply that on top of the concealed area. I went to my local Boots and the local NYX store, but they didn't have the glitter primer, so they had this as a set and I just bought that just because I needed the glitter primer. But I was lucky, I got a gold glitter with it as well. I'm going to apply some of the glitter primer on the back of my hand using a synthetic concealer brush or a shader brush. Just going to use some of that product and apply on top of the gold shade. And then using the same brush, I'm going to collect some of that glitter. I'm just going to lightly press that on to where the gold is. And I'm just going to do the same on the other side. This does dry pretty quick, so you have to be very quick with this. And the good thing is you don't have to wait for this glue to dry or this primer to dry and become a little bit tacky. You can go directly on top with some glitter like I have done. And now I'm going to go and do my base. So just going to apply that on my face, and then I'll go ahead with the beauty blender or beauty sponge and I'll just blend everything. And I've still got some residual glitter on my face. It's not good, especially because I have to go to work later. For concealer, I'm going to use the same L'Oreal concealer in 3DW. So going to leave my cheeks to the end. So just going to blend my forehead. And then my cheek, my under eyes. Now I'm just going to set my face. For bronzer, I'm going to use my Hoola by Benefit. For blush, I'm using my YSL Blush Radiance in the shade Peach. And now for highlight, I'm using my NYX Strobe of Genius palette and I'm going to use this shade here. So now I'm going to use my Maybelline Master Ink Satin eyeliner and I'm going to create a wing, but I'm going to extend it all the way to the end of my eyebrow. Now going back to my 35K palette, I'm going to use these two shades and using a flat top brush, I'm going to outline under, sorry, too much concentration, I'm basically outlining just under the wing and I'm using a stamping motion, if that makes sense. So I'm just stamping the colour onto my under eye rather than dragging it. And make sure to go only halfway, and because later on I'm going to go in with some eyeliner just over there. And then going in with the same eyeliner. That's what I'm going to do. Ooh. Okay, so I'm just going to let that dry and then I'll clean that up. And then I'm just going to connect the blue to the black there. And then for some highlight, I'm going to use this shade here. And instead of applying it in the inner corner, I'm going to apply it just there. And then using some kohl liner and this is by YSL. But not all the way, only until where the black is, just there. So for lipstick, I'm using my L'Oreal Colour Riche matte lipstick, and this is in the shade 634. And for mascara, I'm using my Benefit They're Real mascara and just applying a light coat to my eyelashes. I am going to go in with some falsies, so I'm going to quickly apply my false eyelashes off camera and I'll be right back. Right, so I've applied my eyelashes and I've used my Huda Beauty Carmen lashes this time. If you'd like to see how I normally apply my eyelashes, then I will leave a tutorial linked up here. This is the final look. So this was my Halloween costume for 4 years ago now when I was in university, and this is what I wore, and I hope you guys liked it. I am ready for Halloween. So if you guys liked this Halloween tutorial, then please make sure to give it a big thumbs up and don't forget to share and subscribe if you'd like to see more of my videos. But otherwise, I'll see you in my next video. Bye!